All right, family. So I'm going to touch on specific groups that have been oppressed and marginalized for the vast majority of their existence in this country. Now, before I get into it, I am always about humanity first. However, in order to get to humanity first, we must reach some of the surface layers that we have and problems that will, weed out those who talk about humanity first, but really don't have it in their hearts. And for those who have it in their hearts, we have to come together and say, hey, this is a problem, and it takes us, the people, to work together as a village, all together, to be able to achieve this. But we must deal with some of the surface issues first, because we can't even get united on that. It's no way we're going to get united on the other stuff. So what are those surface issues, and who are these specific groups I'm referring to? I'll answer. So let's talk about poor people. One of the specific groups. Now, there's a lot of marginalized, oppressed people in the world, but I'm hitting on these groups, like I said, because they've been saying the same thing for centuries and their voices have been dismissed. So I'm just speaking up for these groups of people because I understand what they're saying. So for poor people, keep in mind, poor does not limit it to one specific people. There's poor people in every culture. So if you are under the poverty line, and this is how the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor, just look at your neighborhood compared to affluent neighborhoods. You don't really see in affluent neighborhoods, you don't see a Church's Chicken, all these gun shops available, unhealthy food chains and stores with processed food implemented more than some of these other, healthier stores. There's a difference. And then they have programs for the lesser class, if you will, and this is crippling them once you understand what these programs are doing on the back end. So there's injustices there. If you're a native indigenous person of this land and you're still living on isolated reservations, this applies to you. If you've been a people who have been kidnapped and stole, and unlike every other immigrant, you were forced to come here, and then there are people in powers of position who benefited off of your free labor and then took credit for skilled work that you already had while raping you, genociding you, and changing your culture and your name and taking your native tongue, yeah, this applies to you too. So in a nutshell, my solution and suggestion is, if you are in those groups of people, I would ask you to stop and cease talking to the people in powers of position, because they have shown you for centuries they don't care about you. Their job is to stay above you and not be equal. Doesn't matter what they say. Yes, the physical form of slavery has been minimized. However, it has been replaced with private prisons. If you know about the private prison business industry, you can see how the injustices are catering to funneling people and removing them. And we all know the justice system is not equal or balanced in any way. A lot of rich or wealthy people or people with status will get favoritism over those who don't have that. And that's not right. So my thing is, let's stop talking to those people in powers of position and start creating solutions for ourselves. They don't care to listen. They don't care to fix a problem that they started. So it's on us as a community and village of people to come together. That's all I got to say. Much love.